name is Julius Ibazebo. My wife is Mrs. Deborah Chechukwu Ibazebo.
But everybody calls me baby.
Well, how did we meet and where did we meet? We met way back 1990 at Trem. Then Trem was at Akoka, close to Unilag. That's where we met. She was worshiping there. I just came in from Household of God Fellowship to worship with them, and I liked what I saw. It wasn't love at first sight because, I gave my life to Christ in 1990, and February 19, I believe, 1990, and I was a guy about town then. I'd met a lot of girls, and when I came to Christ, the first day I saw her, it was ministered to me, "This is your wife." I said, "No." I just got born again 3 months at Household of God Fellowship. I said, "No, this can't be my wife," because the features that I saw when I was in the world were not there. The curve was not there, the figure 8 and all that were not there. So I just said, "This cannot be my wife." I was talking to myself. And that delayed our eventual coming together, which I knew I had to pray and fast and all that before eventually it got confirmed to me that she was my wife.
Already shown me the person I'm going to get married to. And when he came, I really never knew he was the person because I was thinking he was another person, So then I really prayed for my marriage. I really prayed because I never wanted to make mistake in marriage. And then when he came, he was the last person that came, and the last person, it was number 7, that came. And when he told me, "I'm sure that you're my wife," and I look at him, I say, "Who is this?" "I don't think you are." He said, "I am sure." And I told him that, "Look, you are number 7. And I know that he was the only one I told, "You are number 7. That after the shaking, that the remaining person will be my husband." And I told him that, and he said, "Well, I am not struggling you with anybody." And he left that day. So one day he came back again and said he was going to Bible school. And I said, "Well, I am not going to marry a pastor. So just forget the marriage." And that was, after that, God took control. Where he's coming from, I know that they cannot accept it at all. So the moment I have a conviction from God, I entered dry fast because I know that I knew that they will never accept him. So I started praying instantly, and I told God that if he's the one that he made for me, that everybody will love him and accept him. So he started calling them because from the office you can call my cousins, my brothers, my uncles, and they love his voice on the phone. They were saying, your voice is good. And the day we went to, the first time we wanted to go and see my parents, he collected his salary and we're coming back from church. So the envelope was
only my tithe.
In his pocket. He removed his tithe, and I think he gave me 100 naira or so. That money is valued now. 100 naira, And the 100 naira, I put it in my pocket and we enter bus. Because he instructed me, I normally take drop anywhere I'm going. And he now said, if you want to marry me, you should not be entering drop. You should enter bus. I was like, what kind of man is this one? That we say I should be entering bus. Who likes suffer? Nobody does. And I actually obeyed because it's God that was instructing me to do whatever I was doing. Then inside the bus, they took the money. They took everything. And even the 100 naira they gave me, they took it. So we are like, what is going on? And we are supposed to go to Agbo to see my parents. So I now sent a message again that, sorry, we are not coming. No. And like, my father is like, what is happening? You sure that this girl want to marry? Because she loved God too much. This one, a pastor, she doesn't even want to get married, and that is what he believed. So, and after that, God made a way for us, and we went. So when we got there, we first of all landed at my only sister's place, which is my only sister, blessed memory, Joy Ehije. She was everything to me. After that, we went to my daddy's place. We went to see my dad and my mom. And my dad is like, because my husband is very tall. My dad was looking, he would look down, he would look up, he would look down, he would look up, he would look at him again and look and said, well, you look, your face look okay, but I don't know your heart. So I now smiled, and he now said, okay, my sister, all of them now said, okay, where is he from? I now say, he's from Asia. They now shouted, hey, Jesus, you will not die. So, but because God has gone ahead, nobody rejected him or said no to the marriage. Everybody accepted. February 19, we were 27. Especially this my... If you want to get married to this guy,
patience.
then
Actually, patience.
Really
Let me. When you look at the issue of patience, if you are not patient, you cannot live with somebody who is coming from a different background, different environment, different culture, from you, where you have to learn to live together. Patience has helped us, because if not for patience, 27 years, it's not beans. Patience every day. Sometimes I will blow my top, she will calm down. Most times she will blow her top, the children will calm me down. And if not for that, the union will not be together, even by now. I think we've learned a lot from patience. Be patient in so many things. When things are tough, it appears as if there's no hope. You pray, you're patient, and God will show up. That's basically what I think patience has helped me to achieve in the course of the union. I'm not easy to live with. And thank God for her life, Thank God for her life. 27 years, wake up on the same bed, quarrel. Of course, normal couples quarrel. You make up and quarrel to carry on. And there was this couple that got married. The first month, they were sleeping facing each other, cuddling themselves. The first month. The 6th month, the woman was backing the husband was cuddling her from the back. The first year, the woman was backing the husband was backing the wife. In the course of marriage, some things will change. Sometimes, my wife is somebody who likes to always be with me, But me, I don't always want to be, not necessarily with her. At times, I want to be alone. Sometimes, even in this house, it happened today. I'll go downstairs and I sit down very close to one of the flowers there. And I'll be able to meditate, taking in cool air, meditating. Next thing I will hear is, Ose! Shout out my name, where are you? I even had to tell her I was pumping water downstairs, So, initially when we got married, of course we want to be together every time. Even at this age now, we are always together. In this neighborhood, everybody knows both of us. I want to be like those elderly couples. I want to be like those elderly couples. The woman met me on the street about 3 days ago. Said, where's your twin? Referring to my wife. And behind our back, they will be telling lots of people think that couple want to be like them around this area. Nothing lasts forever. Nothing lasts forever. Initially, love the company of ourselves. Even growing old, you should still love the company of yourself. But the children would go. Both of you will be left alone. But there are some adjustments that need to be made. Not because you are falling out of love. No. But there's an evolution, kind of. So the love of 27 years ago, I don't know whether I can still be the same love of 27 years now. The wine is supposed to get sweeter. But, sometimes when a man wakes up and that some things have to be settled, some issues are pending. You understand what I'm saying? Some issues are pending. If one is not careful, it could affect even emotional stability.
By the time I was even still marrying him then, I was still doubting. Why? Because there was a time I asked for orange. There was a time.
That was before we got married now. It was before now. Why should that one come in now?
It's the same thing.
Huh?
The spark, are you still seeing it?
Okay.
So, I asked for orange and he said, are you my wife? Why should I give you orange?
No, let me explain what happened very well, my dear. My dear, let me explain what, because so I'll not be guilty.
There is no guilty
without defending myself.
I'm just talking.
Okay.
I'm not guilty we're already married now. I will
Okay.
not forgive you for like, why should I give you orange? Are you my wife? I look and say, then because I don't even know anything and then. Well, the spark is still there. His handsome face, because I actually said I'm going to marry a tall man, and that is what God gave to me. And even then I was telling you that I was still having doubt of even getting married to him, because the picture I saw then, though he was black, tall, with a little penny, and with glasses. Normally he was using glasses before, and that was exactly what I saw in that picture that God showed me, and for me to be very, very sure he was my husband was after I gave birth to my first daughter. After the naming, I was inside the room, and like God brought back the picture, and I saw his face clearly, and it was exactly him. And I was inside the room. You can imagine somebody that just gave birth. I started screaming. So it is true. So it is true. And he was now running down from the living room to the room and said, "What is the problem? What is the problem?" I said that. So you are the one that God showed me 5-6 years ago before we got married, and that was when I now said, oh, I would have missed my husband, and I bless
because
God
of
that I did not miss it. So it's still there. Everything is there.
Can I come in and say maybe one or two things? On the issue of the orange. Yes, like I said, when I was coming in from the world, I just gave my life to Christ. Not quite 3 months, I met her. And like I said, I was a guy about town then. Booze, smoke, follow women and all that. And the night I was going to give my life to Christ, I smoked the last cigarette I would smoke, Marlboro, and I drank the last bottle of beer I would drink. I said, tomorrow morning I am going to the household of God fellowship and I'll give my life to Christ. Then Chris Okoche was at Obasa, behind AP at Ikeja. I went there, and when the altar call was made, I was virtually the first person to jump up, give my life to Christ. And they took us to a room where some ministers were waiting, and they began to minister to us. I've been there 2 years earlier, where they made altar call. I gave my life. That was 1988. I gave my life, and they took us to the room. I went there with my girlfriend then. Imagine, with my girlfriend. And they took us to the same room, and the man began to talk, and I stood, he was talking about Holy Ghost. And then he said, he would say something that we should begin to pray in tongues. And then when he finished, he now said, let's begin to pray in the Holy Ghost. And so people around us were making buru buru. I said, what is wrong with these idiots? Stupid people, foolish people. Nonsense, it's rubbish, And I insulted them in my mind, and I got angry and I left there. So 2 years later, when I now went there with my leg, when the Holy Ghost took me there, and they took us to that same room. By the time this pastor, I think it's Pastor Giwa, then, by the time he began to experience, and he said, begin to speak in Holy Ghost, I was the first person that jumped up in the street. I just went off like that. And I now came to Trent, and I now see somebody that God told me, the first time I saw her, now this is your wife. I said, no, it's not possible. And when a thought came to my mind, I said, no, it can't be this one. I had to go into fasting and prayer. I prayed, God, it's not this one, not be this one, not be this one. And I now gave God, I said, God, please speak to me. I went to Bible study. Then Trem had moved from Akoka to Obanikoro. We were the first group of people there. And I said, God, speak to me. I went to a dry fast. I want to know. While the man was preaching, he said, why are you asking God why? He said, what the answer, what you are asking for is what I've given to you. The man was speaking. He was not prophesying. He was just teaching the Bible. Of course, if there are times that words will come to you, this one is for me. And I said, oh my God. And I went back to her, thinking that I was a guy. When I now got to her, she shunned me. I prayed and prayed and prayed. Eventually, I went for counseling. The counselors told me, if that lady wants you, of course, there are different kinds of counselors. God will help the church. He said, if that lady wants you, you are in trouble, because she's a prayer warrior. They know her. She's a prayer warrior. Once you want somebody, once she wants you, she will get you. I said, no. It was in the course of that situation that the orange thing came up. Because my mind was hard that she wants to use orange to get me. So we're buying oranges in front of Trent. We're buying oranges then at Afolabi Brown. And then me and my friend, and she now said, let me have one. I said, no, I'll give you, are you my wife? You're childish and all that. So it was not as if I did not want to give her. But because of what I had heard at counseling and the way I was feeling, but when I now became sure that she was my wife, I did everything I could. To the point of even leaving Shomolu sometimes after 12 in the night. I had a bike then. It's not now we have Okada everywhere. I had a bike. If I had a bike, you're a big guy. 1990, I had a bike I was riding. By 12, I would leave Shomolu. Within 10 minutes, I'd be at Shogunle. So, I enjoyed it.